Hey everybody, welcome to my new video. I hope you enjoy. This is my favorite starters from each generation and my top 5 favorite starters. I decided to make this a single video instead of making it two different ones because after I discuss my favorite starter from each generation, you should know about my top 5 and you should be able to figure it out. So I'm just going to go ahead and clarify that in this video when I'm done talking about my favorite from each generation. Choosing a starter is something we've had to do since Generation 1, a companion to help us through our journey. And so I'm going to start in Generation 1 talking about my favorite from Generation 1. So I first started playing Fire Red and Leaf Green, and that was my first game of Pokemon. And choosing one of these starters was really hard for me. And now looking back on it, I still have the same opinion as I did as a kid. My starter hasn't changed, and many of you are gonna probably already know who it is, but I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about it. Bulbasaur is a really cute. I think it's kind of cute, actually. It's grass poison type, which is really weird. The first starter to show off a dual typing in the first generation, which is really cool. The only other one to do that is Rowlet from Generation 7. But I think it's really cool that Bulbasaur is a dual type. It's based off a plant, it's got a nice bulb on the back, it's a really cool Pokemon. Now we got Charmander. Charmander is like a lizard type thing with a flame on its tail. It's supposed to be fire type, and it's really kind of cute. I actually really like it. We got Squirtle, the cool shell turtle Pokemon that is a water type, and really emphasizing the water with the shell and the blue coloring. It's really cool. So after looking at these Pokemon, they're all really cool, and I really like them all. I had to narrow it down to 2, and I decided to get rid of Bulbasaur, because I did not really like Bulbasaur. The dual typing is kind of cool, but it's gonna defeat itself later in the game with that dual typing. Now it's the dreaded choice between Charmander and Squirtle. I feel like if you're in Generation 1, you have to choose between Charmander and Squirtle, because those are the main two starters chosen in the games, mostly because of Red and Blue, and Red having a Charmander and Blue having a Squirtle. But however, I do like Blue a lot, but I did choose Charmander as my starter. And if you know me, and you've seen my YouTube channel, my mascot is Charizard. So obviously, Charmander's gonna be my pick. It's just a cool Pokemon, I like it, I like the design of it, I like the nostalgia behind it. It's just a really cool starter and I really like it. Moving on to Generation 2, first game for me was Heart Gold and Soul Silver. It's hard to pick a starter from this one. They're all really cool, really cute Pokemon. But I had to let go of Chikorita right off the beginning because, again, I didn't really fall in love with grass types until a while after I started playing. So Generation 2, not really into it right now. And choosing between Cyndaquil and Totodile, they're both really cool final evolutions, really cool middle stage evolutions, but I have to give the edge to Totodile just being that slight bit cuter and having a better moveset and better stats to go with it than I think Cyndaquil does. So I chose Totodile, Generation 2. Generation 3, oh my gosh, you had to make it hard again. Generation 1 was really hard to pick a starter in because they were all really good. Generation 2 is a little bit easier. Was still really, well, it was a little bit easier, but still kind of hard because I didn't really like any of them that well. But Generation 3 brings it back to, I really like all of them, and I have a hard time picking. I first started with Torchic because, in my Emerald playthrough, because I really liked fire types, and I wanted the Torchic. I went back and played it again and again. I got a Trico and I got a Mudkip. I really like all 3 of these Pokemon, and I advise. It's a really hard choice for me to pick, but I had to let go of Torchic right off the bat. I don't like the fire fighting type. I think a fire flying would have been a better suit for it. Maybe, I don't know. I just didn't really like the fighting type with the Blaziken. I know it's a chicken, but I think a chicken should be like a flying type. Picking between Trico and Mudkip is really hard for me, but I had to let go of Trico just for the fact that wasn't in the grass types at that moment. And I still kind of have this adoration for Mudkip because it's just a cute Pokemon. I like the water ground typing. I always have loved the water ground typing to screw over electric attacks, but it's 4 times weak to grass, which is a problem. But you know, I give Generation 3 to Mudkip. Generation 4, we're back to I don't like any of them again. It's really hard for me to pick a starter. I think I started with Chimchar because I still like fire types. Still love fire types. I kind of wish they would choose a different design than a monkey because they need to quit monkeying around with fire types. Sorry. It kind of brings back Generation 1 stuff with a shell turtle type Pokemon being the grass type. Not sure where they got Piplup from, but it's kind of out there. So let's start eliminating. I got rid of Turtwig first, based off of Squirtle. I had a feeling. I also don't like the grass ground typing at the end. Ice type one-shot it every time. Choosing between these two, it's really fun. I got rid of Piplup. I really do like Empoleon, but I find a better attachment to Chimchar and Monferno and Fernape because I used them the first time I played it, as well as I really enjoyed the story with Ash and his Chimchar. Well, Paul's Chimchar getting to Ash, evolving to Monferno, evolving into Infernape, beating Paul. That was really cool, and I really like that. Generation 5, again, we're sticking with the theme that I don't like any of them. I'm really picky when it comes to starter Pokemon, but they have a pig, a snake, and I don't even know what Oshawott is. But, so I'm just going to go ahead and start eliminating because I don't really like them all. Got rid of Tepig first. I didn't like the pig, and I don't like the fire fighting type on an Emboar that's slow as molasses. So I ended up with these two. They're both really cool for me, but it's hard to pick. But I ended up giving the edge to Oshawott. I just like the Samurott better. It looks cooler. It doesn't look feminine like Superior. I feel like Superior is more feminine than it is masculine. But I like Samurott. It's really cool. It's really nice Pokemon. And I just really fell in love with Samurott when I started using it. Generation 6. Oh, this is really fun. They are decent, but a few of them stand out from the other ones. And I'm just gonna go ahead and start. Let's see. By Chespin. I never really liked Chespin. I used it once. I hate the middle stage evolution, and I hate Chestnut. It's just two of my least favorite starter final forms and evolutions. It's just bad. We know Froakie is nostalgic for being one of Ash's first Pokemon in the Kalos region. It also ended up getting it to evolve further than Greninja with Ash Greninja, which is kind of cool. Finnegan's a really cute little fox fire type, and I'm not one to go with the trend, so I'm going to get rid of Froakie. I say I'm not one to get rid of the trend, and I chose Charmander as my first generation, but I didn't really like Froakie. I mean, I think it's cute, and I think it's got a cool story to it, but I just like the Fennekin better. It's got a cool psychic ability with it, and I like the fire psychic. I think that should have been its final evolution type, but you know, they didn't really want to do that. So finally we get to Generation 7, and everybody's gonna love my first pick because by Popplio. Never really liked Popplio, didn't like the features on it, but it's really hard to pick between Rowlet and Litten. I like the cute little owl form because I fell in love with Hoot Hoot and Noctowl, and I really like the cat form because I love cats. And it's fire type and grass, some of my favorite typings right there. But I just had to give the edge to Rowlet. I chose Rowlet in my first playthrough, and my only playthrough of Pokemon Sun. I really like this UI. It's really cool. I like the ghost aspect to it. And it's also one of the only two starter Pokemon to have dual typing from the beginning. The other one being Bulbasaur, as I mentioned in Generation 1. I think it's really cool that they brought that back and they gave it a flying type, because that means it just gave it so much more power right off the beginning of the game. And if you had... I can't remember its middle stage evolution, but you had the middle stage evolution when you went to the grass trial. It really helps because the grass defended against it, and then flying was really powerful against it. Okay, so this is the end of this video. I'm going to move it on to my top 5 favorite Pokemon. If you noticed in Generation 1, I left out two starters, and that's because they were exclusive to one game, well, one or two games, depending on how you play it. There's Pokemon Brown and Pokemon Yellow based around Pikachu and Eevee. And however, I'm going to count these in my top 5 favorite starter types. So moving on, number 5 is Eevee. I just love Eevee a lot. If you've seen any of my other videos, I talk about Eevee and its evolutions all the time. It's a really cool Evo Pokemon that evolves into many things. I just can't wait for the day that has all its evolutions out there. So we're going to jump over Generation 2 and go to Generation 3. Go to Torchic. I really like Torchic as a fire type starter. It's really cool. Shows that a chicken can be a fire type and also a fighting type. I really like the design. It's so basic, so simple, and they just added some orange and yellow to it just to make the bird look more like a fire type, and I really like that about it. Simple design, and it's really cute. Number 3 is Treecko, and I really like Treecko for the fact that it's sort of like a reptile, but it's not. I also really like the Mega Sceptile form, and I really like Grovyle and its nostalgia in the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game. I just really like Treecko, and I really have loved using Treecko. Moving on to number 2, which is Mudkip. How can you get all 3 Generation 3 starters in my top 5 favorite starters? I don't know. They're all really close, and they're all really cool Pokemon. But I just love Mudkip just a slight more, as I said earlier. I really like Swampert and that water ground typing, screwing over all electric types, but letting grass kill you easily and instantly. It's just a really cute Pokemon. It's really fun, great stats. I can't say much more about this Pokemon. And my top starter type Pokemon, going back to Generation 1, is Charmander. I just fell in love with Charmander. From the very first time I saw it, I looked at it in my first playthrough of Fire Red, and I'm like, do you even have to show me the other 2 starters? I picked it up right away, started battling with it, had a Charizard. I think my first Charmander was the only Pokemon I actually legitimately got to level 100, because I actually trained it, and I love Charmander that much. It's really cool, and I just fell in love with it from the very beginning. I was a kid. I still love it. It's a really cool stat-wise. 2 Mega forms, so obviously it's better than the other 2. And it finally gave it the dragon that I thought it should be, but it didn't give it dragon in first generation because it was too OP, and I can understand that. Again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my starter type discussion video. And let me know what your favorite starters are in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content from me. But until next time, I am Chaos May 006 signing off. Smell you later.